It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And
now a first carry here for Robinson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebacker.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So the Steelers now in great shape to be...
On the set.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Williams. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here.
Here we go.
The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big play.
Touchdown! A great effort there.
Down.
Throwing to start the drive. Williams. Throwing left side here. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Williams. Open man is Chase, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. It's a gain of 8. This defense for the Steelers, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Ready.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes,
Let's go.
you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head scheme going.
That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Williams now. From the gun, he'll throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Set. Hut.
Williams throwing to start the drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been
Ready,
open
break.
for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Open man downfield is Chase. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one lines up to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll roll him out right. This is caught. Touchdown. Bijan Robinson.
Here we go.
Here's Williams on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Williams. Here's a diving catch right side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the... back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Here we go. Here we go. Set.
Now a play fake here on first down. Touchdown! Devontae Smith.
Ready, ready. Ready.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Ready.
Again, it's Robinson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's 3rd and 9. Off play action. Williams. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Let's go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Forced out to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off the play fake, Williams. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Let's go now.
They'll try and throw for it here. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered.
Set. Ready.
Now Williams on 1st and 10. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
Williams now. Off play action. And his throw is incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So they bring out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Williams throwing on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Here we go.
Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Williams on first down, eluding the pressure right. Man open is Robinson. And all the way in for the touchdown.
Bijan Robinson.
His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Sentinels are able to wipe.
Ready, ready. Ready.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that's... but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
A big play there. 54 yards.
Here we
A
go.
real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And it'll be intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here.
Ready. Ready.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Let's go now.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. Taken down at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a throw from outside the pocket, complete out left. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
He's taken down at the 7th after a gain of 7.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Bijan Robinson with...
Here we go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
74 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot from the 46. Here's second and a couple.
Ready?
Off play action. Williams. Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time.
And touchdown! A big play.
Ready.
Following the fumble recovery, Williams. Gonna throw right side here, complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Come on.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Off the play fake. Williams. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Here we go.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. 20, 10, and they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They give him a gain of 37.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, You and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So they go for it on 4th and goal, hoping to get 6, and it's 6 the other way.
If hindsight is 20/20, they would have gone ahead and kicked the field goal, but by being aggressive, it actually cost them. Give up 6 points going the other way.
On the double. Set, ready.
Now Williams throwing after the interception. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
In a spot where most offenses would just be trying to get to the finish line and close this game out, they're still looking for points here in the final minute of this game. I think bonuses could be gained and attained with maybe more points.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Williams. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Williams steps away. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though?